guess I just wanted to make this quick video. I had a conversation that was pretty interesting in the in the last week, and the same thematics tend to come back over and over again. And most of the questions that we have as people always come back to the same thing: a question of understanding, a question of looking for direction, and a question of looking for love. And those are the big ones that pretty much will dictate the actions that we do. They dictate why we spend so much time on one thing or another. They dictate the relationships that we attach ourselves to, and they dictate also the treatment that we allow for us to get in our own life, right? In some cases, we allow bad treatments. In from people, and in some cases, we allow good treatment, and we allow for ourselves to accept it and to embrace when people do us good and stuff like that. The point of this is really to understand it's not just a question of who are we and why do we deserve this or deserve that. It's not just loving yourself and all of that stuff. It doesn't just mean these abstract things that are so sort of soft and stuff like that. They're also as rigid as what truth is. There are things that we are, right, that are not related to compassion, they're not related to buying flowers and chocolate and all that stuff that we typically think about when you think about love. It's not necessarily just a romantic thing. Love is also a perspective, right? You love someone because you have a perspective of them, and you want that perspective to live, because that perspective of them staying alive inspires you. It allows you to live in a world where they exist, and that is a better place. That is a place that you want to live in. For that to happen, right? For that to be able to be, well, you got to have some type of perspective of the world and some type of an idea of the values that are important to you, and an idea of what the world should be. Because if you can see beauty in that, if you can see a harmony in the world, you'll see beauty in people. So people don't just fall in love because somebody looks good or stuff like that. Love is actually a deeper thing than that. This perspective and stuff like that isn't just a perspective of what they look like, but a perspective of who they are, right? And so it's the same thing for ourselves. We sort of have these questions that we can ask ourselves as to okay, well, who am I? And then we could write these down. What are the things that make me myself in this world, in this life, right? And from there, we could have sort of a breakdown, right, of reality. And in that chase of this truth, right, this sense of truth, the sense of the foundational of who we are, we can have some place to build from. If we think about ourselves as being certain things and we write them down, right? It could be a friend, it could be a son to someone, it could be a brother, an older brother, a sister, whatever. All those things are positions. And those matter no matter who we are. Those are things that are important and will always be relevant. And nobody can take from you, and that is the main thing. You can lose money, you can lose friendships, relationships, you can lose cars and all this stuff. You can lose a lot of things, but that can't. Even if you are something to somebody else, right? Because that's an important point. The thing that makes this true is that it's not an illusion. And so the relationship, this idea of truth has to be shared with people. We can't just be thinking about, I'm this and it's just in my head. Now it's an illusion, but it is relevant if we think about it as and it becomes truth when it's shared, right? if I say I'm a millionaire or I have this amount of money and I just say it, but nobody else agrees, people tend to say that that's not true, right? We would say, well, that's false. There's no proof of that. If I say I have this amount of money and the bank says it too, now it's a shared thing. It's not just me. Then now it's real. It's a shared thing, and now it becomes reality. The point in saying this is to say that these things that we can define ourselves at, right? We can like attach ourselves to, right? Are actually things that become what we could call true. Like it can become reality. They are reality. And if we act from that, then we have sort of an independence towards other people. We're not as dependent as to what they want, right? Because there are things that these positions, these responsibilities that we have, there are things that this requires. And this is much more important to you, and once you understand the amplitude that it has, because these responsibilities, such as being a father, such as being a brother, such as being this and that, those come with a responsibility, and they become obligations. They become literally become a responsibility. And so once we have these responsibilities, now it's about fulfilling them. And it becomes a question of delivering that to the people that we have these relationships with. If I have a son, I'm a father to my son. It is my responsibility now to be the greatest father to my son, right? If I don't have this concept that is my position, that is what I play, and that's what I'm trying to fulfill, you can fall into the idea of thinking that my role, my responsibility, my job is to please this person, to make sure that they are happy, or not happy, but make sure that that their desires are fulfilled. And that is not true, because that would be me neglecting my responsibility. We can agree on that. And that's, with the son thing, it's not as poignant, but you look at it as you can see in marriage, right? In a marriage, or in relationships, we can say, right, to keep it simple, is you become someone inside of this team, and now it's about fulfilling your responsibilities as the side that you are in this team, right? The position that you have. And a lot of times what happens is that if we lose track of that, right, then we lose track of what we should be doing and not doing. Now we become sort of victim to the flims and the ideas and the emotions of the other person, because we don't have a reference point. The only reference point that we have is going to be the idea that there is a team, right? And if you don't have an idea of what to do, you're going to look at the person like, yo, what should I do? But you shouldn't be looking at the next person trying to ask them, what should you do? You should just know. And you should know because you have lived, you have experience, you have life. You know deep, within you what makes sense to you, what a person in your position should be doing and stuff like that. And so the relationship doesn't stay, it's not horizontal. It's not between me and this person, but it becomes more about you with yourself. And you with yourself becomes, it's you and these ideas of yourself, who you should be and stuff like that. And that can be really subjective. And it has to be super subjective. But that subjectivity, the point to which you're gonna look at it as bias is necessary, but it's not something that other people will understand, because other people look at life with their own bias. The point of this is to say that in this quest for love, in this quest for direction, in this quest for answers, we can't be looking at other people this much, and it is necessary to find them within ourselves. And this is a blueprint as to how to do that. And as simple as it is, it just takes the practice of realizing when is it that we allow other people to try to tell, we look at them to try to find the answers as to what should we be doing in our position, in our role. Is to make a list of the things that we believe to be real positions that we have towards people. Is to be clear as to, I believe in this. I believe that a friend exists. I believe that a husband exists. I believe that a brother is a real thing. That this, that. Those are real things. Boom. I write them. Now, I am all these things. Okay. What does that mean? Now, that is where the most personal part is. That is where, like, the it's almost selfish to a sick, can be selfish to a sickening level, but it is necessary. That is the essence of a man. That is the purest form of being a man, is that selfishness, that and it's the only time that it's okay to be that level of selfish. Because being that selfish, to be like that attached to the perspective that only you can see, is the only way that you'll be able to bring value to people. Because now I'm clear about who I am, I'm clear about what I think that means, and I'm clear about what I should be doing, and now I can be that for everybody around me. I can be that for these people that I value. I can be that for society as a whole. And I bring clarity. I bring peace, because I'm at peace with that. And now the point of all of this is that this is a necessary exercise to do. And it doesn't matter what happens in life, this will always be valuable. Right? And at the simplest, and to keep it simple, that is a solution to this problem. And so what this demonstrates is that to make sure that perspective lives, to make sure that perspective of yourself, of the world, lives on, is your responsibility. And the actions that you take during the day will either help do that or hinder it. And yeah, I hope that this finds the right people, right? That this video finds the people that it needs to find. I thought it was valuable to document, and thank you for watching. See you on the next one.